Good evening, friends. Thank you for joining Candid Mina every evening to follow what's happening in India and abroad. And thank you for sending me your useful comments and suggestions. If you believe in this channel, do hit the like button, share it with your friends, and spread the message. Our only mission is to bring you the truth and both sides of the story. Thank you for your support. I'm joined by Jaydev. Welcome, Jay.
Good evening to all the viewers once again.
Yeah. Now, the Supreme Court is going to hear the plea over Prime Minister's security breach in Punjab. Senior advocate Maninder Singh, who brought the petition before the SC bench, has been asked to give a copy of the petition to the Punjab government. On the 7th of January 2022, the Supreme Court will hear a plea that seeks a court monitored probe into the Prime Minister's security breach when he was on a visit to Punjab on Wednesday, January 5th. A bench headed by CJI N.V. Ramanna will hear the case on Friday. Senior advocate Maninder Singh, who brought the petition before the SC bench, has been asked to give a copy of the petition to the Punjab government. The petition contends that it must be ensured that what happened is not repeated. Advocate Singh urged the bench to take up the plea, and in response to his request, the Supreme Court will hear the same on Friday. The bench headed by the CJI Ramana asked the petitioner, Maninder Singh, what he expected the court to do in this matter. Singh said that such an incident is a very serious lapse and the security breach is unacceptable. Considering the political situations in Punjab, there must be a probe monitored by the court into the police arrangement and law and order situation. The advocate argued. He further added that it was necessary to ensure that no such incident occurs again. Meanwhile, the Punjab government formed a high-level team to probe the security lapses during the Prime Minister's visit to Punjab on Wednesday. It is a two-member committee that includes Justice Mehtab Gill, the retired judge of the Punjab and Haryana High Court, and Anurag Verma, who is the Principal Secretary of the Department of Home Affairs and Justice. The committee will submit its report within 3 days. Meanwhile, the President of India has also expressed his concern over the incident of security breach that happened in Punjab. The PM met the President briefly earlier today. The convoy of Prime Minister Modi was blocked by political protesters on a flyover on the way to Hussainiwala in the Firozpur district of Punjab, where he was to visit the National Martyrs Memorial and subsequently address a public meeting. Later yesterday, it had also become evident that the Punjab police, which itself was seen enjoying a tea party with the protesters who blocked the roads, had been complicit. The security lapse that endangered the PM. And there were witnesses who said that they got information that the Prime Minister was coming in this direction from the police itself. The Union Home Minister had stated that the Punjab police was given all the details and the convoy had started only after confirmation with the DGP. The Punjab police had failed not just in securing a clear path for the PM's convoy, but had also failed to provide an alternative route. Back to you.
Yeah, see, I would like to add to this piece of news. For the information of the viewers, the road route which the Prime Minister took. So the road route was part of the contingency discussed during advanced security liaison as per sources. Now, Prime Minister's road route was not decided by the SPG. So what is SPG? SPG is Special Protection Group, but it was decided by the Punjab police, as you know. And as per protocol, the route is to be secured by the local police, which in this case it's the Punjab police. Now, at least 10 minutes before the VIP movement, in this case it was Modi ji's convoy route, the route is supposed to be sealed by the local police, which is the Punjab police. Now, the road opening party is supposed to clear the route of all obstructions. But in this case, you know what happened, that Modi ji was held up in the flyover for 15 to 20 minutes with a lot of protesters with tractors. Can you imagine that? And so, however, in this case, as you know, the Punjab police failed to keep the protocol on all counts. Now, just to give you information about the Special Protection Group, which is called the SPG. So, as you see in the picture, you can see people in coats, men in coats. So, this is the Special Protection Group. So, this is an agency of the government of India whose sole responsibility is to protect the Prime Minister of India. So this group was formed in 1988 by an act of the Parliament of India, and the Special Protection Group protects the Prime Minister at all times, both in India and abroad, as well as the Prime Minister's immediate family members residing with them at their official residence. So, in my opinion, whenever PM Modi ji is going outside any, BJP, going in a state which is not BJP ruled, he should take the advice of the SPG rather than the local state police
Absolutely. Yeah.
for his, yeah. And I do hope a good verdict comes on Friday.
Yeah. See, in such in other countries, what they would do is immediately arrest the people concerned. They will not wait for all this nonsense. Waiting for the justice to give you, a rule that's saying that, see, now this can be done. All this should be done immediately. The chief minister has acted, in a manner that suggests conspiracy to kill, assassinate the prime minister. It's very clear. And the very fact that he did not take the prime minister's phone when he called him itself shows that there was something very mischievous that was happening. And the second thing is, he said that he did not come. And the second point is that he did not want to go in the helicopter in which the prime minister was going to fly there. What was the reason for that? Third point, he said that his colleagues had COVID, and that's why he didn't want to infect the prime minister. What was he doing at the press conference without a mask? So there it was okay for him. All this wishy-washy statements is not going to work. This man has to be under arrest because this is treachery. It's treason, nothing more. Yeah, back to you.
Yeah. And one more thing is that BJP should not go soft or be passive. They're not. They. I mean, this government is very passive, known to be very passive, and it's not. It's unlike any government in the past. Like you have had a Narasimha Rao who was very tough. You had a tough prime minister like Indira Gandhi. Yeah. So Modi ji should take a very tough stance. Otherwise, the opposition will keep on, doing such incidents purposefully, you know, to sort of
Yeah, in
frustrate
fact,
him.
Karthik has a good point to say.
Yeah,
Karthik
yeah,
has said Modi ji has cancelled his Madurai visit owing to rise in COVID cases. I'm sure it's because of a security threat there too. Stalin is no different from Chennai. Now here, Karthik, and to the other viewers, none of these states, whether it's West Bengal, whether it's Kerala, and whether it is Punjab, or any of the states, Rajasthan, or Tamil Nadu, these should all come under president rule, because these people are all playing as traitors to country and to the prime minister. They have to make a decision, and Punjab is a border state. It has to be under president's rule, because they can invite Pakistan tomorrow and tell Imran Khan, who Sidhu, what kind of a fool he is. Sidhu will embrace Imran Khan and tell him to walk into Punjab. That's the kind of atmosphere the Congress has made. They make a pact with China, they make a pact with Pakistan, and expect Indians to believe that they can be our rulers.
yeah. There's one interesting comment that the Punjab police was having tea with the protesters. So can you imagine that?
No, not fake police. This is Punjab police under Punjab Chief Minister Laila. Don't mistake. This is not what happened in Sakis. No. This is very clearly the Punjab police has conveyed to the protesters, Prime Minister is coming on this path, and you please sit there. We will block the other side with buses and tractors so that he is stuck in the middle, and any sort of bomb can kill our Prime Minister. This was a conspiracy. And this was a conspiracy that has come from across the border. And our own enemies have been playing with it. There is no doubt about that. Absolutely no doubt. Because a lot of the Congress people have been tweeting that, this is the kind of thing that Modi ji deserves. Some said, how is the Josh? What do you mean, what is the Josh? He's our prime minister. We have to protect him. When we struck Pakistan, it was because of what they did to India and to our soldiers. Don't forget that. There's a big difference between that Josh and this Josh. These congressies should all be put in Tihar jail. Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
Back to
coming
you.
to the next piece of news is that it's an attack on every Indian. This is what Kangana Ranaut had to say with regards to the security lapse of Modi ji. While when the PM was traveling by road from Bathinda to Husseinwala's National Martyrs Memorial, Kangana Ranaut responded angrily to regarding this security lapse. And Kangana wrote on her Instagram stories that what happened in Punjab is shameful. Honorable PM is democratically elected representative of 1.4 billion people. An attack on him is an attack on every single Indian. It is an attack on our democracy itself. Punjab is becoming a hub for terroristic activities. If we don't stop them now, the nation will have to pay a big price. So this is what Kangana Ranaut, she wrote on her Instagram stories regarding this incident. So it's quite interesting to note that no Bollywood celebrity has come out and tweeted with regards to this incident. Like people like
Yeah, because they are on
Amitabh,
the side of Pakistan.
yeah,
Yeah.
people like
And everybody from Akshay
Mm,
Kumar to Shah Rukh
yeah,
Khan are sitting with ISI friends, in cars and enjoying parties with them. So they will not support this. They'll say that, see, better to get, we don't have such a person. That's the kind of, thoughts they have. Karthik also makes a point. He says, Papu is also very dangerous. He's a personification of evil. Don't go by his stupid statements anymore. Here, Karthik, I would also like to say, he's like Lalu Prasad, who used to make very trivial statements, but he was a very intelligent man. People didn't know that. That's exactly how Papu is. They are so conniving and scheming. So you have to always expect only evil, to come out of these people. Okay, back to the Mumbai police. Mumbai police. Now, I think that because Uddhav Thackeray is now, hiding and not hiding, actually under, medical treatment, the son has taken over. Now, he has arrested Jiten Gajaria. Jiten Gajaria is someone I know, and he's been a patriot right from the beginning. He's a nationalist. Okay. Now he's been arrested. In one tweet, Gajaria had called Rashmi Thackeray Maharashtra's Rabri Devi. In another tweet, he had referred to Ajit Pawar's infamous urine remark and had posted a tweet asking if Rashmi Thackeray is running the government, is Pawar the deputy CM just for urinating. The Mumbai police have detained and have been questioning Jiten Gajaria, a BJP social media pravari, over his two tweets posted on January 4th on Maharashtra CM Uddhav Thackre's wife, Rashmi Thackeray. As told by BJP's Mumbai social media in charge and secretary Pratik Karpe to media, a team of 3 officers of the Maharashtra police reached Jiten Gajaria's office in the morning at around 10 a.m. They were not carrying any legal notice or warrant against him. Yet, they picked him up from his office and brought him to the cyber police station, BKC in Mumbai, where he is currently being interrogated for the last 3 hours. Pratik Karpe, who is BJP's Mumbai secretary and social media in charge, also took to Twitter to raise his voice against the tyranny of the Maharashtra government under Uddhav Thackeray. The arbitrary action being taken against the BJP leader by the Maharashtra police at the behest of the Shiv Sena government led by Uddhav Thackeray. Okay, now it should be Aditya Thackeray because he's bedridden. Was for 2 tweets Gajaria had posted on January 4th. In his first tweet, Gajaria had referred to Maharashtra CM Uddhav's wife, Rashmi Thackeray, as Maharashtra's Rabri Devi. In his second tweet, he quipped at Rashmi and Ajit Pawar by invoking the latter's crass 2013 urine remark that had ridiculed the hunger strike by a drought-affected farmer in Maharashtra. Ajit Pawar had then said, "From where will we give him water? Should we urinate in dams?" Gajaria had joked in Marathi, thereby indirectly referring to Ajit Pawar's insensitive remark. The tweet roughly translated to, "If Rashmi is running the government, am I the deputy CM just to urinate?" Ajit Pawar speaks to Office of UT. He had quipped that Ajit Pawar must be asking Uddhav Thackeray's government what his position as Deputy Chief Minister would be if Rashmi Thackeray was running the government. Is he only in the government to urinate? So, while the statement, of course, is demeaning, it doesn't warrant arrest. This is, however, not the first time that the Uddhav Thackeray government has displayed such extreme intolerance towards opponents and basically anyone who dares to criticize them. Last year, six Shiv Sena goons had assaulted a retired Navy officer for sharing Uddhav Thackeray's cartoon. The WhatsApp forward was allegedly a satirical cartoon featuring Uddhav Thackeray and his allies Sharad Pawar and Sonia Gandhi. Before that, the Sena goons had assaulted a person and had shaved his head for criticizing Uddhav Thackeray on Facebook. This is the kind of rule, and we all know that it's not Rashmi, it is Aditya Thackeray who's now at the helm since his father is not well, and we know exactly what will happen under him. It's already started. Yes, back to you, Jeff.
Yeah. So coming to the next piece of news, Kareena Kapoor Khan, she was slammed for being out and about in the city just days after recovering from COVID. Now, she had tested COVID positive for the second time, and so netizens sort of slammed her for roaming around the city, and she has sort of recovered from that. And the BMC had officials said in the statement that Bibo, which is her pet name, and Amrita Arora had flouted COVID-19 norms by attending all the parties around the city, and so they got infected. So it's kind of they're not penalized for flouting COVID norms. These so-called celebrities get away with anything.
Yeah, right. A school in Bangalore now is in deep problem. A Bangalore school student alleges that the teacher forced the class to pray to a better God, which is Allah, as punishment. School says it was eye exercise. The math problem was confusing. We weren't able to crack that problem. So the teacher told us to pray to Allah. The Orchid International School student alleged. A Bangalore school has got involved in a major controversy after one of its teachers allegedly forced students to say Islamic prayers as punishment. Reportedly, a math teacher in Orchid International School forced students to pray in the name of Allah for failing to solve a problem and also instructed them to keep silent about the matter. However, the school, which has campuses in Bangalore, Mumbai, and Hyderabad, has denied the allegations. The matter of what some are calling education jihad came to light when Vikram Simha, a furious parent, recorded a video of his daughter who said that she was forced to pray in the name of Allah at Orchid International School, BTM branch, Bangalore. The girl on the video that went viral on social media said that her teacher asked the Hindu students to make a bold shape of their hands and pray. The math problem was confusing. We weren't able to crack the problem. So the teacher told us to pray to Allah. Despite telling her that we were Hindus and we are not supposed to pray to Allah, she scolded us and made us make a bold shape with hands and pray. She said, according to the girl, the teacher said, Allah is a better God and asked them to pray to him, blatantly denying the fact that Bangalore School, in its official statement, said the child in the video was lying and that the teachers at school don't promote the practice of religion. We talked to the parent. No such instance occurred in the maths class, as the teacher focused only on her subject, and she never said anything about religion in the class. It said, after which it called for a thorough investigation. The management swiftly conducted an intense investigation to find that the teacher also did not practice the religion alleged to have been promoted. The allegations made by the child and the parents are baseless. We've checked the CCTV footage of the class and have also spoken to other children. They all have denied the happening of such an incident, is what the school said. It also further called the act of making a bold shape with hands as the act of eye palming exercise. It is just 2 minutes eye exercise conducted during online session, which is intended to help children rest their eyes due to screen time, the school said. It is pertinent to note that the school has locked its official Twitter handle after Vikram Simha came up with yet another video with his daughter revealing the actual truth. The parent, in response to the statement by the school management, said it was not entirely true. It is correct we have We had a conversation with the school authorities, principal, and their legal team, but they refused to let my doctor speak about the incident that happened in the class. Posting yet another video with his daughter, Vikram Simha noted that Mrs. Manjula, the principal of the BTM branch school in Bangalore, refused to listen to the child. The girl in the next video again fearlessly spoke about her teacher named Sarika Rana, teaching the students that Allah is a better God. Further refuting to the eye exercises claimed made by the school, the daughter said that she did not get confused over the act of making a bold shape with the hands to be the 2-minute eye exercise. We rub our hands and place them on our eyes in the exercise. But the teacher made us make a bold shape of our hands and pray to Allah, she showed in gestures. Several BJP leaders and activists have come up in support of the child and demanded strict action against the school and the communal teacher. However, it seems that the city police has not taken cognizance of the issue yet. The Orchid International School, that is managed by St. Teresa Educational, Cultural and Social Development Society, which was earlier in news on October 2014 for the sexual assault on a 4-year-old kid. According to the reports, the staff was being questioned in the case of assault on a minor girl in the school campus in the city. Now, here, viewers, what I'd like to tell you is that I watched the video where this little child spoke about this. She's a very innocent child, and what she said seemed absolutely the truth. And the father also seems like a very decent individual. This school has something to hide, and they're doing it openly. Why would they want to block his Twitter, their Twitter handle? So these things should be exposed by the government, in Karnataka. Yeah, back to you.
Yeah. Now, the next piece of news is BJP workers' body was found hanging in Bengal. Now, the body of a BJP youth wing leader in West Bengal's Alipurduar district was found hanging from a bamboo structure. Now, Shuvro Jyoti Ghosh, who is a member of the BJP Yuva Morcha local committee, was found hanging near his residence in Gagra village in Banchu Kumeri area on Wednesday. The BJP alleged that he was murdered by members of the TMC. TMC miscreants killed Shuvro Ghosh, and Mamta Banerjee steers the tyrannical law in West Bengal. The people of Bengal will give a befitting reply. The Saffron Party state unit, which is the BJP, wrote on Twitter, and local BJP workers held a demonstration to protest against the incident and blocked the Buksa feeder road for some time to press their demand for immediate arrest of the culprits. Now, Ghosh was missing since Tuesday evening, the police officer said, adding that the circumstances behind his death are being investigated. So, this continues in Bengal. BJP workers are being killed left and right.
Yeah, absolutely. Meanwhile, in the NCB, Vijendra Singh takes charge as NCB zonal director. He replaces Samir Wankade. The IRS officer Vijendra Singh on Tuesday took charge as zonal director of the NCB in Mumbai. RS officer Vijendra Singh took over from the outgoing zonal director. It will be an additional charge for Singh, the official said. Wankade's tenure with Mumbai NCB ended on December 31st. With the exit of Samir Wankade, the NCB will see, according to these people, sweeping operational changes from seeking legal advice to using WhatsApp chats as evidence to shifting focus from petty buyers to large suppliers. Few steps have already been taken to salvage the agency from further ignominy during the last high-profile case involving Shah Rukh Khan's son, Aryan. NCB's top brass was not happy with the approach adopted by former Mumbai Zonal Director Wankade. In a recent meeting with Deputy Director Director General S.N. Pradhan made it clear that no unprofessional approach will be tolerated. The agency will focus on larger consignments and supplies instead of wasting resources on the small quantity of drugs, a top official told News 18. The focus would be more on collecting primary witnesses instead of corroborating evidence, and the agency will avoid doing any shoddy job that would further dent its image. Wankhede was repatriated to its cadre on Monday after he did not receive an extension to serve in the NCB. He was in the spot last year after the arrest of Shah Rukh Khan's son Aryan in the drugs on cruise case and was attached as NCB's Mumbai zonal director in August 2020 on a loan basis. Now remember, friends, that a team led by NCB zonal director Samir had busted a drug racket in Goa on this New Year's Eve. According to NCB statement, two women drug traffickers were also arrested from Siolim in Goa, and various types of banned substances were seized from them. Acting on a tip off, the NCB team of Mumbai and Goa zone recovered 1.03 kilograms of marijuana and 49 tablets, 25 grams of amphetamine, 2.2 grams of cocaine, 1 gram MDMA powder, and a vehicle from the spot. So it's apparent that he worked till his last few days in Mumbai. Now, when this person, when these higher ups are saying they're not happy with the approach adopted by Samir Wankhede, it clearly shows that there is some sort of envy, in this agency, and it is some kind of mole who has tried to, you know, make Samir Wankhede's life miserable. So, because we all know the kind of work that Samir Wankhede did, and there's no doubt that he was absolutely professional in his job. So there's no way that the higher ups can say that he was unprofessional. And if he even caught these peddlers or 3,000 peddlers or smaller people, everything leads to the top boss. Don't tell us that that is not the modus operandi. So this is ridiculous. Whatever the higher ups are saying is something very ridiculous, Jerry. Yeah, back to you.
Yeah. The next piece of news is Farhan Akhtar and his girlfriend Shivani. Now they are planning to get married in March, and it's a beach wedding in Goa. But given the surge in COVID-19 cases across the nation, it is still not clear whether the wedding will happen in India or abroad. Now, initially, Farhan and Shivani were planning a Goa wedding. This was on their minds because Goa is a place close to them. But given the current COVID-19 situation, they are still thinking of different locations and venues for the wedding. So it looks like the weddings of elderly people like Katrina and Farhan is in fashion as Bollywood movies are facing flops after flops, and they somehow have to get some sort of limelight by marrying late, I guess.
In fact, CJ, they've been living together for a donkey's time. They've been there for such a long time. And before that, she was girlfriend to many other people as well. So this is all, again, marriages of convenience, and they have absolutely nothing to do. And just when they were thinking of having a very grand wedding, like the one that Katrina and Vicky had, to divert the, people's attention, the second wave the third wave has come in, and they are stuck,
Yeah,
So,
so Arinya summed it up pretty well. It's a
yeah,
contract wedding, like
yeah,
any
absolutely.
wedding.
Yeah, yeah. Meanwhile, something that we've been all commenting about Akshay Kumar acting with children who are, who would be the age of his grandchildren. So Ravina Tandon opens up about seeing Akshay Kumar opposite much younger Katrina Kaif in Tip Tip remix. Ravina Tandon spoke about the hurtful comments that were made back in the day about women's appearances and why she isn't bothered about seeing Akshay Kumar opposite the much younger Katrina Kaif in the Tip Tip Barsa Pani remake. The actress said that the day of being body shamed is over, the days. In a new interview with the media, the actor said that back in the day, many insensitive comments were made about women's appearances, but that the new generation is more aware and comfortable in their skin. Asked if there was pressure on women to look a certain way, she said, I don't think so. I think those days are gone when people would body shame and talk about your thunder thighs and Amazonian growth or whatever. A lot of these things we've heard. All us women at that time, we looked like khate pite ghar ki ladkiyan. Ravina, which means well-fed women. Ravina was talking about her contemporaries, actors Kajal, Karishma Kapoor, and Shilpa. She continued, there's a lot more awareness in this generation to look good and feel confident about ourselves. There are so many of actresses who are happy and comfortable in their skin the way they are, including me. She also spoke about how, in the recent remix of Tip Tip Barsa Pani, the female performer was changed despite Akshay Kumar being retained. The original song, which was a part of the 1994 film Mohra, featured Akshay and Ravina, but the remix, which is a part of Suryavanshi soundtrack, featured Akshay and Katrina. She was asked why Bollywood is still afraid of women of a certain age. She said that's slowly wearing out. I can see the change for sure, but there is room for much, much more. About the item songs, it's been a win-win situation. All these remixes, they get new life, they get a new beat. The youngsters are loving them. In the end, I kind of end up owning them all over again. Ravina, who became a household name after a string of hits in the 90s, most recently appeared in the Netflix thriller Aranyak, in which she plays a Pahadi policewoman. Yeah, back to you.
Yeah. Coming to the next piece of news, Ranveer Shorey, he blasts hotel guest who almost hounded him out after he discovered his son is COVID-19 positive. Now, Ranveer Shorey said that he and his COVID-19 positive son Harun were almost hounded out of their hotel in Goa after guests discovered that they were staying there. Actor Ranveer Shorey put his feelings on blast after claiming that he and his son were hounded. Now, Ranveer had previously revealed in social media posts that his son Harun had tested positive for the COVID virus during their vacation in Goa. Now, on Thursday, he wrote a note posted on social media that a guest at the hotel, they were like guests at the hotel and they were sort of hounded. And as a result of my social media post meant for the common good, we were almost hounded out of our hotel room where we were quarantining due to guests pressurizing the hotel about us staying there. So society's capacity for unscientific discrimination has been on full display. This is what he wrote. And the actor, as you know, drew support from social media followers, or I would say PR agencies. Will the same people living in gated society vacate their flats in case a resident is infected? Ranveer had previously written on social media that his son had tested positive for a COVID virus after a routine RT-PCR test at Goa airport. In the subsequent post, he had hailed the effectiveness of Covaxin and had said that he tested negative. My son and I were on holiday in Goa, and during the routine RT-PCR testing, his son turned out to be COVID positive. So, I mean, this is like, I find it amusing that people still know this actor called as Ranveer Shorey. I mean, he hardly has had any hit films or he has had any main roles in any Bollywood films. And I find it hard to believe that people hounded him and his son in a hotel of all places.
In fact, I find it very amusing, Jaydev and
Yeah.
all the viewers, when my mother called me and she said that, see, what's so special about this Akshay Kumar? So I said, why, what's the matter? So she said, in every 5 minutes we are watching this man's ad, and he is so ugly. She said, his gums are all over, his teeth are all over. She said, see, okay, we can shut the sound, so we don't have to hear him, but we have to watch him. So she says, I kept changing channels. Then I told her who are the people responsible for only certain few elite getting ads, like him, Alia Bhatt, Sara Ali Khan, and Ananya Pandey. They're all a part of the cabal, and that's why they get these ads. And who are these people who place the ads? Companies like Cornerstone. The other people don't know it, so they should be, informed what is the modus operandi in Bollywood. Meanwhile, some more good news is that Boni Kapoor's movie with Ajit, the southern superstar, Valimay, has been postponed. They say it's because of COVID cases that the makers have decided to postpone the movie, but we all know theaters are running empty. And there's nobody interested in Bollywood movies or any movies made by Boni Kapoor. In fact, I think even the dead Devi may be agreeing with us when we say this. So we all know the kind of reputation Boni Kapoor has. And we're very glad that this movie has been postponed. We're not interested in watching either Ajit or any sort of directorial expertise from Boni Kapoor. Now, moving to another thing, strange are the ways of Bollywood. One day, the couples fight, and the next day they give interviews, and finally they get back to Kichiku. On Monday, Sanjay Khan's 81st birthday, the Khan family organized a lavish party for him. Sanjay's daughters Farah and Suzanne shared photos from the family get together in which the family can be seen celebrating Sanjay's birthday at his home. Hrithik Roshan, Suzanne's ex husband, was also present at the party. Suzanne thanked her father and she said, "Happy birthday, Papa, for all the lessons of life that you've taught us all. Thank you for being our strength and our inner voice," she wrote. A couple of her pals commented on the post as soon as she uploaded it. She was seen taking selfies with her sister, Farah, as well as with Sanjay, mother Zarina, brother Zayed, and her boys Hridhan and Rihan. Farah also shared a series of photos from the celebration on her Instagram stories in which Hrithik can be seen hugging Sanjay. Now, here, friends, there have been so many drug cases coming from the Khan family. Whether it is the actors, the young actors like Zayed, or Feroz Khan's son, and then you're talking about Hrithik Roshan's wife. This is what Kangana had also spoken about. If the father had given so much of love and taught them the right things according to what the daughter is saying, Suzanne is saying, the first thing you should have taught them all was that to stay away from drugs, which he did not. And now I also know why she was closely connected. Suzanne was closely connected to Arjun Rampal. Arjun Rampal was called several times by NCB, and his living girlfriend and her brother were also, cross-questioned by the NCB. They're all into this marketing of drugs, and that's why this attachment. There's no love or there's no friendship in this. This is all, means of using people for things that they need. Yeah, back to you, Jack.
Yeah, coming to the final piece of news is that stand-up comedian Munawar Faruqi, his show was scheduled to be held on January 9th, and it has been cancelled because of COVID-19 restrictions. Now, he took to his Instagram story to inform that due to new COVID guidelines and restrictions on gatherings, the Hyderabad show Dando has been cancelled. Now, he said that the event will be held later on in the city. Munawar said that the city police approached the organizers of the show, advising them to postpone it due to COVID-19 situation. So, friends, if you remember that earlier he was supposed to have a show in Bangalore, and that Bangalore cancelled his show because he sort of makes comedy, which is sort of making fun of Hindu gods and stuff, and that is very. I mean, we have to appreciate the Bangalore police for that.
Yeah. Moving on to something more, something that you'd like to hear about, is that why did Kabir Khan's 83, the movie 83, underperform so drastically at the box office? Trade experts explain. Blame it on the COVID or the fact that in hindsight, the film looks like a documentary instead of a feature film. Kabir Khan's highly regarded sports film 83, which was made at an estimated cost of rupees 270 crores, stands to lose over 150 crores at the box office. One of the film's producers, who wishes to go unnamed, said, "It's futile and self defeating to play the blame game. Why blame the COVID resurgence? Even with the threat of third wave, audiences flocked to see Spider Man and the Telugu film Pushpa. No, if they wanted to see 83, they would have come, but they didn't. And the main reason for this is the youngsters couldn't connect with the euphoria of the 1983 World Cup victory. For people who were witnesses to the victory, the film was like a documentary. They knew everything that we saw in the film before. So we lost audiences both ways." Producer Ajay Rai, who had tremendous success with his OT series Tabbar in 2021, feels the film's brilliance cannot be undermined by its box office performance. Whatever its box office performance, let's not forget 83 was released when the third wave of the pandemic was around the corner. The film is as brilliant as Lagan, he says. Says street guru Taran Adach, there is no denying the fact that 83 is an extremely well made movie, but unfortunately, the praise, the accolades, the critical acclaim, and the strong word of mouth hasn't translated or converted into footfalls. The film has worked at select metros, that too at premium multiplexes. Outside metros and especially at smaller centers, the film has not found acceptance. The expected numbers are missing. One of the reasons would be that the people found it to be a docudrama. It appealed more to the big city audience. The mass belt just did not take to it, especially the youth who relish masala fares. 83 has it all. It was very well made with strong emotions as its USP. Film critic Raja Sen feels 83 did not offer enough incentive for theatre attendance. It is becoming extremely clear that people will only go to the theatres for an experience they cannot get at home. They went for Spider Man, No Way Home, because that was a beloved film offering larger than life movie magic. Even the people curious about 83 are willing to wait for a few weeks and watch it on a streaming platform. That's the difference. Producer and trade analyst Girish said, it's very easy to dismiss in hindsight. But yes, the 83 majority of the critics went wrong. Films are very subjective experiences, and the easy way out is to go with the flow. That's what hampered majorly. Personally, after watching the film, I felt the film is more of a sports docudrama and not an entertaining film. Apart from Ranveer Singh, who was starring in the film, there was no character development of any of the actors which could connect. Yes, winning the 83 World Cup is a fond memory for all. But again, the youth couldn't connect nor relate to the film. And the youth constitutes a majority of our box office tickets. Also, marketing to wide was not focused, showcasing fights over cinema screens, distribution delays, and advance booking opens further aggravated the matter. High ticket prices was a major concern too. Using bullish media reviews days in advance of the release, pumping expectations of the audience, which when they actually saw the film was no match. That too hit the sentiments over the end product. Finally, I feel that the budget was too high for this kind of vision. Had the budget been half of what it is, it would have been a winner, despite all of the above and despite the pandemic. And trade analyst Atul says there is no clear cut answer as to why the movie underperformed. Nobody can answer the question. Everybody may come up with a theory or the other, but why the audience rejected this modern day classic, nobody will be able to figure it out. Maybe audience wants entertainment, and that quotient was missing here. But one thing is for sure, the high ticket pricing in today's times did keep a lot of people away from watching the film on the big screen. So here, friends, we all know, or the traders may talk about 100 things, but we all know the reason why this film, crashed. This film crashed because everybody has very little opinion of Ranveer Singh and his wife Deepika Padukone, who have not only made fun of Sushant Singh Rajput, but also been a part of the drugs scene. As Deepika was called by the NCB and cross-questioned, and a lot of the WhatsApp chats reveal that she was really into drugs. This is not the kind of models we want. This generation doesn't need such people, and they still don't understand it. So these traders will continue to say, give 100 excuses, but people have boycotted Bollywood for real. That's all the news for tonight, friends. We'll just take some of your comments before we, leave. So let me invite you in case you'd like to join us. I'll just give you the link. Yeah, this is the link. So in case you'd like to join us. Chitra says, Deepika is a basket case. She's an emotional mess. Talking about depression to win sympathy. Chitra is a person who never, she never minces words. She's very clear about what she says, and this is exactly what we all feel. Karthik, no matter how much they hype or talk about their films or show, unless audience spends money to watch, it's nothing. Hope they understand it. Absolutely. जोशी says, भगवान के दरबार में ऐसी घंटी बजना चाहिए वो नीचे आ जाए और इन culprits को सजा दे. Yeah, absolutely. Atira. They have been planning for a long time to kill Modi ji. Fortunately, he saved all the time. May our PM be blessed always.
Yeah, I would
And
like to
last
add
phrase.
to I would like to add to Adira's comment. Is that many astrologers have said that Modi ji has a very good horoscope, and that's why no matter how many enemies he has, that he will always be saved by God, at least by God's grace.
Yeah. Sunanda says, I don't like when Deepika speaks. Never liked her acting either. Don't understand how she backs so many roles. Here again, Sunanda, it goes back to the same thing. The cabal gets all the roles. Why do you think you see Alia Bhatt in every role, whether it's South or whether it's Bollywood? There is some pact between the cabal and these people. So that's why you don't get to see. There are so many actresses who have real caliber. They're all pushed away because they don't compromise. So that's one of the reasons why we see and these people getting so many awards. Karthik says, let Munawar Farooqi say one joke about Prophet in his show, he won't even go back. Yes, absolutely. We cannot, he won't be able to, yeah. जोशी एसएसआर को शुरू शुरू में सुसाइड सोचा मैंने बाद में आफ्टर फॉरेंसिक एनालिसिस आई अंडरस्टूड कोल्ड ब्लडेड मर्डर फिर भी कुछ नहीं बाहर घूम रहे हैं वो कातिल खून खोल रहा है मेरी यस making people feel absolutely angry. Sridevi ji knew about the earlier plot to kill Modi ji. That's why she was killed. Laira, poor Modi is doing all this too so that India grows. Chitra. Munawar keeps saying that he wants to quit, but tweets about his cancelled shows their delusion. Yes. We would rather endure COVID than Munawar comedy. That's Aranya. Well said. Mr. Wankade is a real hero. I would want my son in his shoes. Here, Mansi, just look at the way these senior officers are talking about his non-professionalism. And they're going to recheck WhatsApp chats. That's exactly what he gave you. And then you said that won't, act as proof in court. So what are you trying to show? You're professional and he's not professional. And do you think we people will believe what you say? If you're compromised, you better say that. Otherwise, we don't believe what you say about Samir Wankade. Someone is messaging in Cyrillic here. Please message in English. Okay. Chitra says, heard Rajmouli spent 11 crores for promotion of RRR by arranging 8 tickets and booking 5-star hotels for the fans of Junior NTR and Ramcharan, as they have no fans outside Andhra. Yes, Chitra, and for all these press conferences, they spent so much of money. They even made Alia Bhatt speak in Telugu. But the movie has been postponed. Please understand that this emotion that public are feeling ever since Sushant, Disha, Jia Khan, Janvi, all of them died. It's real. It's, you can feel the pulse, the people. Nothing you do, you can show your gums, Akshay Kumar, as much as you can, but nobody's going to watch your movie. It's decided by the public. And you can piggyback on the backs of Southern stars, nothing is going to happen. This is the turning point that Indians have made after this death. Mansi says Mr. Wankade is not a misfit, but look how NCB is rubbing his hands off by questioning his modus operandi. Yes, absolutely. Like the movie title, Hum Sab Chor Hai. Change it to Hum Sab Chasi Hai for the Sanjay Khan. Shilpa, sad that you are not praised for the work done. Salute Samir Wankade. Faisal Khan, Amir Khan's brother, accepted that SSR was murdered. Why CBI silent after so much? They want to kill Modi ji. Still no action? Buzdil low. Yes, absolutely. And also the fact that, CBI is just being paid extra money by us, the public, for doing nothing. So they enjoy both sides. If they're compromised, they must be enjoying the money that's given to them from the other side as well. Even his ex-son-in-law, DJ Akil, was also on drugs, yes. How do they all enjoy and afford such a royal lifestyle? Yes. Gloria. Canadian Kumar, dirty mouth, guns and all. When he smiles, you're right, Meenaji. Switching channel is, is the only option. Karthik, Ajit should not do any film with Pony. I respect Ajit. Hope he senses it too. See, Ajit is a very good actor, Karthik, but don't forget the fact that he's a very arrogant man. Many times he's played with his fans. Someone from afar would have clicked, a selfie. He's taken the phone and he's taken it away. And look at the way he treats these fans. Doesn't he know that the fans are the reason why he's famous? So that's something that he should learn, that arrogance will not work. Mansi, as far as NCB's statement regarding their modus operandi, it completely gives an impression that NCB has been conveniently influenced by political masters. Also, it's apparent that Mr. Wankade was a misfit. Yes, Mansi, it's very clear that the people who are talking are not patriotic officers. Something has entered the system, and that's why this man has been hounded. If there's a mole in this thing, whoever has been giving information to Nawab Malik, there are moles in the NCB, and they've been doing it. Karthik, even Skeletor from the He-Man cartoons look much better than Canadian Kumar. Yes. Arinya. Huda was the first who spoke against Mahesh Bhatt and harassment he went through as his son-in-law in SSR case. Yes. Either Goa or Maldives is everyone's favorite destination. Chitra. Mrs. Kundra is coming on a new show in Sony along with stupid rapper Badshah. Boycott the show. Yes, absolutely. Chitra. Being in this land, we still don't understand. Karma is a law which gives our actions. No amount of temple visits can purify their horrible acts. Here we're talking about Shilpa Shetty and her husband going to each and every temple and hitting their heads to get some, better luck. Happy having multiple plastic surgeries, Botox skin, and others below all the artificial beauty. They are zombies. Yes. Shilpa is in Tirupati and going around every possible temple with her husband to ask God for more money and fame. No remorse whatsoever. Chitra, if you have noticed, in the shows that she comes, even if you take a little glance at it, you can make out that whatever action she does is absolutely artificial, because she, she's either laughing too much, she's hysterical, or she dances too much. So everything shows that she is, suffering from some very big inferiority complex after her husband and she were caught in this porn racket. Naila, Akshay should meet his dentist and do something about his gums. Chitra, wedding is also to sell the rights to social media and to spend the black money. So Nanda, recently Farhan Akhtar and Shibani had posted a picture with Riya Chakraborty. Riya is their best friend. You remember all the advice that they were giving at that time, when this case was really heating up. It was these two people who were giving. And also remember, one of his Sushant's cooks landed at their door, and they gave them the job. Why was that? To make him happy and say that, see, please don't reveal anything more. Kartik, when there's so much security in J&K borders, Rajasthan and Gujarat, why the government is so soft on the borders with Bangladesh? Yes. The time will come when BJP workers either will run away, join TMC, or will be killed. BJP High Command is sleeping on the murders in West Bengal. Shilpa, these teachers are sent by Modi ji only in schools, giving them perks and computer and all. Yes, Meera, we'll add the link to the Bangalore incident in this just below so that you can get it. You can watch the comments, on the left side. So we'll add that there. Jaydev, just remind me.
Yes.
Jayanti, agree with you. Karthik, they have to stop just trying to win elections. Now everyone and their brother have to go to Supreme Court even for PM security matter because PM refused. This is ridiculous. You don't have to wait for the Supreme Court to make a decision
This
on
is the
things.
link. Yeah, this is the link of that incident.
Yeah. If you could follow Mira, it's already posted below.
Yeah.
Karthik. Yes, we already read that point. Khalistanis are having a free ride in Punjab, and the residents of Punjab are fully responsible for the mess here. I'll just take a few more comments from below. N. Reddy says, real faces of these fake stars are revealed now, and SSR won in his efforts. But SRK Putpatia must be remembering SSR more than ever. Alia overrated by Bollywood, yes. Don't understand how she backed so many roles. Yeah. Every single issue that raises its head has to be met with the full force of law and public protest. Yes. So that's all for now, friends. So we'll see you tomorrow with another session. Thank you from Jaydev and me, and good night.
Right.